Close your eyes for just a moment. Take one slow, deep breath in and let it all the way out. Good, because tonight we have somewhere very special to go. Up above the rooftops, past the treetops, past the clouds, all the way up where the night sky lives. That is where our story begins. And our story tonight is about a little star. A very small, very bright, and very lost little star. So pull your blanket up a little higher, wiggle your toes until they feel warm, and let's begin. Once upon a time, up in the great big night sky, there lived thousands and thousands of stars. They were all shapes and all sizes. Some were big and bold and blazed like tiny fires. Some were small and soft and flickered like a candle in a warm window. And right in the middle of them all, tucked between two of the brightest stars in the whole sky, lived one very little star. So small, in fact, that if you were not paying close attention, you might almost miss her. But if you looked just right, if you tilted your head and softened your eyes, there she was, glimmering, gentle, perfect. Her name was Pip. Pip loved her place in the sky. Every night she would wake up, stretch her little light out in all directions, and look down at the sleeping world below. She could see the quiet houses with their warm orange windows. She could see the meadows resting in the dark. She could see the rivers winding like silver ribbons through the hills. And she could see children, just like you, tucked into their beds, breathing slowly, drifting off to sleep. And every time she saw that, she felt the warmest, happiest glow fill her right up from the inside. Now, one evening, something happened that had never happened before. A gust of wind came through the sky. Not a rough or angry wind, just a playful, curious wind that had been wandering all day and was not quite sure where it was going. It drifted up through the clouds and right past Pip, and before she could hold on to anything at all, she felt herself lifted and carried and spun. And when the wind finally set her down again, she looked around and saw nothing. No familiar stars, no cozy spot between her two bright neighbors. Nothing she recognized at all. Pip was lost. She looked to her left, darkness. She looked to her right, more darkness. She looked up, and she looked down, and she turned herself around 3 times, but everything looked the same in every direction. Her little light, which was usually so steady and warm, began to flicker. Just a little, the way a flame flickers when it is not sure whether to stay or go. "Hello," she whispered. But the sky was very big, and her voice was very small. Now here is the thing about feeling lost. It does not matter whether you are big or small, young or old, a child in their bedroom or a tiny star in an enormous sky. When you feel lost, the very first thing you feel is scared, and the very second thing you feel is alone. Pip felt both of those things at once, and her little light flickered just a little more. But here is the other thing about feeling lost. Someone is almost always looking for you, even when you cannot see them yet. High above, on the other side of the sky, the moon had been doing what she always did, drifting slowly, steadily, calmly across the night, keeping watch over everything below. The moon was very old and very wise and very gentle. She had seen a great many things in her long life in the sky. She had watched storms come and go. She had watched seasons change. She had watched millions of children fall asleep in millions of beds, in millions of houses all across the world. And she had learned one very important thing. The sky is always better when every single star is exactly where it belongs. So when the moon glanced across the night and noticed that one small, familiar flicker was missing from its usual place, she stopped. She looked again. She counted carefully. And sure enough, Pip was gone. The moon did not panic. The moon never panicked. She simply took a long, slow breath, let her soft silver light spread out a little wider across the sky, and began to look. Now, I want to ask you something, and I want you to think about it while you lie there all cozy and warm. If you were Pip and you were lost in the dark, would you rather someone came to find you with a great big bright flashlight, all sudden and startling? Or would you rather they came with a soft, gentle glow that made the dark feel just a little less dark? Comment your thoughts below. I think you might know the answer already, and so did the moon. She came with her glow, soft and warm and steady. And that is exactly what happens next. Pip saw it first as a faint shimmer far away, a warm, silver-white light spreading slowly through the dark like milk stirred into a quiet cup of water. She turned toward it because something deep inside her, something she could not quite explain, knew that warmth like that meant safety. And slowly, slowly, through the wide and quiet sky, the moon came closer. "There you are," the moon said softly, and her voice was low and round and warm, the way a voice sounds when it is not in any hurry at all. "I was looking for you." Pip's little light trembled. "I got lost," she whispered. "The wind took me and I didn't know where I was, and I couldn't see anything I recognized, and I was..." She stopped. She took a breath. "I was scared." "I know," said the moon gently. "It's all right to be scared. Everyone gets scared sometimes, even the very oldest stars." Pip blinked. "Really? Really?" said the moon. "But here is what I have learned, little one. When you are scared and you are lost, the best thing you can do is stay still and let your light shine. Because the people who are looking for you, they are always looking for your light." Pip thought about that. She thought about it while the moon floated quietly beside her, steady and patient, not rushing anywhere at all. And slowly, very slowly, Pip's flickering little light began to grow steady again. Not bright and blazing, just steady, calm, warm. "Are you ready to go home?" the moon asked. Pip nodded, and so they began the journey back. It was not a fast journey. The moon did not race or rush. She moved the way she always moved, slow and smooth and peaceful, the way a boat moves across a still lake on a windless night. And Pip moved beside her, matching her pace, letting the rhythm of the moon's steady drift become her own rhythm too. As they traveled, the moon pointed out things along the way. "Look down there," she said softly. "Do you see that little house with the light still on in the upstairs window? Someone in there is not quite asleep yet. Maybe they're listening to a story. Maybe they're thinking about their day. But look, see how the curtains glow? That means they're warm and safe inside." Pip looked. The little window glowed like a tiny golden star of its own, and something about seeing it made Pip feel warm too. They drifted on. "And look over there," the moon murmured. "Do you see the river? Watch the way it holds my reflection. It does that every single night. The whole river turns to silver, just to carry a little of my light down through the valleys. Is that not wonderful?" Pip looked at the river, winding and glimmering far below. "It's beautiful," she said quietly. "It is," said the moon. "The world is full of beautiful things. You just have to move slowly enough to notice them." They drifted on a little further, and the sky around them began to look more and more familiar. Pip started to recognize the arrangement of stars, the way they clustered here and spread out there, like a map she had always known but had simply forgotten for a little while. And then, up ahead, she saw them. Her two bright neighbors, right where they had always been, their lights warm and welcoming, as if they had been waiting for her all along. Because they had been. "She's back," one of them whispered. And the whole neighborhood of stars seemed to shift and settle, the way a room full of people settles when someone they were worried about finally walks through the door. Pip slipped into her place between them, and the moment she did, something wonderful happened. Her light, which had been small and flickery and uncertain all evening, suddenly felt strong, not because anything had changed about her, but because she was home. And home, it turns out, is where your light shines brightest. The moon hovered nearby, watching. "Thank you," Pip said softly. The moon smiled, that wide, full, gentle smile that you can sometimes see when you look up on a clear night and the moon is round and bright and looking right back at you. You were never truly lost, the moon said. You just needed a little help finding your way back. And that, little star, is what we are all here for. And with that, the moon continued her slow journey across the sky, steady and unhurried, keeping watch over everything below, over the rivers and the meadows, over the quiet houses and the glowing windows, over the children tucked into their beds, breathing slowly, 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 their eyelids heavy, their bodies warm, their minds growing soft and still and dreamy. And Pip settled into her spot in the sky, wrapped in the familiar warmth of her neighbor's light, and she shone, quietly, steadily, gently, the way she always had, the way she always would. Far below, the world was still. Houses were quiet. Lights had grown dim. Rooms felt warm and cozy. The gentle night wrapped the world in calm. And if you were to look up right now, right this very moment, through your window, or through the ceiling, or simply with the eyes behind your closed eyelids, you might just be able to find her. That one small, soft, steady star, right where she belongs. Breathing in, breathing out. The moon is still up there, keeping watch. The stars are still in their places. The night is warm and quiet and safe. And you are exactly where you belong too. Right here, right now, warm and safe and loved. You do not need to go anywhere. You do not need to do anything. You just need to let your own little light grow soft and still, the way Pip's did, the way all lights do when they finally come home. The river is silver, the meadows are resting, the houses are quiet, and the sky is full of stars. Good night, little one. Sleep well. You are home. If this story helped your little one drift off tonight, give it a like and subscribe to this channel. There are more peaceful journeys, gentle adventures, and quiet bedtime worlds waiting here every single week. Sweet dreams.